In this section, we're going to talk about subtraction or takeaway. In the foundation stage, children will have practical experience again of takeaway. They'll have, for example, 10 cars and a friend might come and take 2. And that might be their first experience of taking away, knowing that when something's taken away, their answer will be less. Again, through plenty of experience, children will consolidate this learning. They will look at number tracks and have a go on being on a number track and jumping back to take away. As they move towards the end of reception and into year 1, they will begin to use the number line to help them work with bigger numbers and do informal jottings for taking away. They will go along the number line and find 10 in this example, as they are starting with a group of objects to the value of 10. Then they will subtract 2, take away 2, and they will know that because they're subtracting, their answer will be less, therefore they need to jump backwards. 1, 2, and that makes 8. As children begin to understand the relationship between addition and subtraction, they will become familiar with our counting up strategy, which was our default strategy across the whole school. We can call this counting up or finding the difference between two numbers. Again, children will start using a number line to help them work through this calculation. In this example, we have 17 subtract 12, or we might say the difference between 17 and 12. Children would be encouraged to find 17 on their number line. And then they would take away the 12. And this is represented by finding the 12 and taking away the numbers for 4. We have now taken away 12. And then children will count up to find the difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would probably find, if you were to do this mentally, that would be your strategy. You would put 12 in your head and count up how many more to get to 17. Again, as children become more familiar with using the number line, they will move on to finding the difference between 2-digit numbers. In this example, we have the difference between 35 and 17. Children would start with the smallest number, 17. And they would find out how many they need to count on or count up to find the difference. Again, their knowledge of partitioning is essential here and very useful. Starting at 17, they would see how many more they needed to count on to take them to the next 10. Add on 3 would take us to 20. We would then look at 20 and say we need to get to 35. I know if I add on 10 more, that will take me to 30, drawing on my experience of counting in tens in Key Stage 1. Then I would count on 5 more to take me up to 35. I then need to look back to my jottings and see how many have I counted on or added on from 17 to get to 35. I would start with the largest number, 10. I know 10 add 5 makes 15. Add on 3 more makes 18. So the difference between 17 and 35 is 18.
As children continue through the school, they can extend this default strategy to 3-digit numbers. Here we have the example 625 subtract 316. And we might say to the children, 625 take away 316, or what is the difference between 316 and 625? The children by this stage know to start with the smallest number and to count up to the largest number. On their blank number line, they have written the number 316. Their target number is 625 because they are finding the difference between 316 and 625. So from 316, they would use their knowledge of number bonds and place value to know that from 16, you add on 4 more to get to the next 10. So 316, add on 4 more, would take us to 320. From 320, they may take a jump of 300 to get to 620, and then they know that the difference between 620 and 625 is 5. Again, they would look back now and see that they took a jump of 300 and a jump of 5 and a jump of 4. So together, the 5 and the 4 are 9. With the 300, the difference would be 309. In this example, only 3 jumps have taken. Some children may take less jumps, other children may take more. For instance, from 320 to get to 620, they may take 3 smaller jumps, adding 100 each time, because that's what they are secure with. So getting to 420, add another 100 to 520, and then another 100 to 620. The aim being to take as fewer jumps as possible. Presently in the school, some children are still using the decomposition method. This is how it would be taught initially in an expanded format. This method leads to the method that you will know. So here we have again our example 625 subtract 316. The children would use their knowledge of place value and partition this number, or these numbers, into 600 and 20 and 5 and 300, 10 and 6. They would then say, 5 subtract 6. That can't be done, so I need to borrow a 10. So from the 20, I'm going to take a 10 to make this number 15. This would just leave 10 here. They could check this by thinking, well, 600 add 10 add 15 still gives me my initial number of 625. So here we have now 15 subtract 6. 15 take away 6 is 9. 10 subtract 10 would give us 0, and 600 take away 300 would be 300. So the answer to 625 subtract 316 would be 309. This then relates very easily to the compact method. Again, we have 625 subtract 316. I cannot take 6 from 5, so I'm going to borrow a 10, and I'm going to have 15 subtract 6, which is 9, 10 subtract 10, 0, 600 subtract 300, which is 300, giving me my answer, 309.